Welcome back to another Creative Encounter podcast episode. I am your host, Juiette Z. Payne, and you are back for episode 36 of this podcast where we just interview and chop it up with creatives. So excited to have you guys here. We are on YouTube, so subscribe. We are on Apple Podcasts, so leave us a review. And we are on Spotify, so leave us a rating so we can reach so many more Kingdom creatives through this podcast. But without further ado, I have a good friend here, one of my buddies. This is one of the young fellas who's doing great things. He's in school, he's in college, and he's out here killing it. This is my guy, Emilio Venegas. What's up, man?
How's it going? Good to be here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. How you feeling?
Pretty good. A little nervous.
Yeah, a little nervous?
But I'm all right.
Oh, yeah, we good. It's going to be dope, man. Yeah, man. So once we start flowing, it's just going to be a great conversation. It's going to be a fun time. But yeah, let me tell you guys a little bit about Emilio. So pretty much we connected because my wife, Gabby, she worked with Emilio's mom. And they worked together with this company for a few years, and they just got super tight. You know, we're coming to events and functions and stuff, and then me and Emilio, we just clicked right away. Like, he's into, I was teaching you, what was it, piano?
Yeah, keyboard.
Yeah, I was teaching you keyboard for a season. That was so much fun. That was dope. So he was one of my students on piano, and now he's interning this summer with PayneDuo Productions, my business where we do video and photography, because he's in school for film. So that's how we reconnected, and that was awesome, man. Yeah. So how's the journey been so far? So you jumped in this past week.
Yeah, last week.
So how's it been so far?
It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like being here. It's like it's really cool, just kind of like being in like an environment where like everyone else is really creative too. Because usually it's just kind of like me in my room or something, on my own. But so it's cool just being with like different people and stuff like that.
I love that you mentioned that because like community-wise, sometimes as creatives we can't feel alone in a sense of like, man, nobody understands how we think, how we process things, you know. And I talked about that on a few episodes ago. I was like, I had a lady on, her name was Tori, and we were talking, and we were just saying, like, man, sometimes you can just feel alone in this space because you have all these ideas all the time. You just want to have that outlet, and people are just kind of like, I don't really get it, you know? So that's cool. So when did you start kind of diving into your creativity? I know you're about to be a sophomore?
Yeah, college. Yeah,
okay, sophomore in college. Love it. And you're going for film.
Yeah.
When did you kind of start dabbling, whether it's in film or not, start just dabbling into your creativity in general?
I would say probably like middle school-ish. I remember like in 7th grade we had to write like poetry and stuff like that for class. Yeah. So we had to do like basically it was like a poetry project. Yeah. And so I started doing that. A lot of my teachers liked it. I showed it to like some of my family members. They liked it. No way. And then from there I just kind of like went on. Yeah,
that's cool. So was it specifically poetry or was it spoken word?
Poetry.
It's poetry. No way, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you done any type of like young authors or any type of kind of like promoting it in any type of events or functions or anything like that?
No, because I mean I was really little when I did it, so I kind of didn't know that I could. I just more did it for fun, I guess. But
yeah, man. We had junior authors at my school. So I mean, I was even back in like 5th, 6th grade. Yeah. So I was kind of like doing junior authors, which was like, and I would illustrate because I do design and stuff too. So I would illustrate the books and kind of write them and stuff. And Gabby and I talk about that all the time. Like, man, we should go back to those kids' books we wrote. Yeah. And like maybe release them. You know.
You should definitely.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool. Yeah,
that's cool. So with the pieces that you do with poetry, do you see yourself going into that realm because it kind of connects with? That's kind of where it starts. That's cool because it connects with what you want to do with film. You mentioned that you want to do like screenwriting. Yeah. So I think that was probably like the start of it. Like God just kind of giving you that gift. Yeah. So kind of tell me how the segue went from poetry into like, man, I wouldn't do screenwriting.
Well, then eventually in like high school, I started like kind of like coming up with ideas for like. So I'm like a big anime fan. So I started coming with like
that's
ideas.
Another reason we connected.
So I started coming up with ideas for like anime characters and stuff like that. And then from there, I kind of started taking like the characters and putting them in like scenarios that came with my head and like writing it out and stuff like that. And then I was
were you creating characters or were you drawing characters that
I can't draw, so no. I feel like more just like writing out like personality traits, what they look like, what they could do, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's crazy. And you still have all of that?
Yeah, my phone.
Oh man, you gotta release that. Oh, is it only on your phone?
Yeah, only on my phone.
Man, you better get that off your phone.
Off
just
it?
You know what I'm saying? In the sense of like you don't want it to like if anything happens to your phone.
Oh yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Do you have like a cloud or anything?
No.
Nah, you better email that to yourself.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, that stuff be gold. Like that's the stuff that people be missing. Like there's been so many times in the middle of the night, like God will give me an idea for like some lyrics or just like something to come up with. And there's been times where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'll get to it in the morning. You know, I'll get to it and you wake up, you lost it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, that could have been something amazing, you know. So like, yeah, definitely get that, extract it, write it down somewhere. Just also in 2-3 places.
Yeah.
You know, and also you're gonna learn that too when we work more with the camera, like the footage we did, some of the footage files that I sent you. I always try to save it in at least 2-3 different places, because if one of those just mess up on you, the hard drive or something, and you lose those files, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know,
like
so
yeah,
man. So I want to see that stuff. That sounds dope. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so this is what we did last week. So we talked about with the intern. So we're interning with them for 8 weeks, and we were like, on Fridays, let's make that kind of like a movie day. Like where we can just like watch something, like examine a movie, kind of discuss it, break it down, stuff like that, right? So this past week we watched an anime called Akira. Came out the year I was born, 1988, 88, so it was pretty cool. So we watched it, but it was funny because like we were watching that, then we ordered some Asian food. So we watching an Asian show and eating some Asian food, and man, I started dozing off. Not because the movie was weak or anything. I was just like, that food got me sleepy. So I'm sitting there, and the guys, him and Bryce, they're sitting there laughing at me and stuff.
Yeah.
but just like how all of us are like kind of anime buffs, and we were kind of saying that's like one of the they write the stories so well on those, right?
It's so good.
Man, it's just like crazy because they go deep. Like one of our favorites is Death Note.
Yeah.
And even when I rewatch it, I've watched that at least 15 to 20 times. Like
15 to 20?
Dude, I love it so much. Like I'll get someone hooked on it, and then I'll rewatch it with them. I'm like, dude, that's just anime called Death Note. You need to watch it.
That's
then
crazy.
they're watching it. I'm rewatching it again, the whole thing, But with that, it's like I could not write a story like that. There's like just no way. I mean, I would have to. So it just comes naturally to people, but for me, I would have to like dig deep to all the different facets that they created for that show to put it together. It was so good.
Yeah,
that
is one of the best animes of all time.
Yeah, and that watching anime, did that kind of start getting you into wanting to kind of screenwrite, watching that, or certain movies? Like what kind of got you into like, man, I want to do something like that?
I would say like anime for sure. That's like definitely like one of my biggest influences. But like movie wise, I mean, I don't know. I mean, growing up, I liked a lot of like superhero movies. So that's another big thing.
Yeah. Marvel, DC.
Yeah. I mean, more Marvel, I guess.
Marvel.
But movie wise, I mean, I was also really big into like comedies too. So yeah.
Cool. So what are like your top 3 like comedies?
I would say like Superbad.
Okay, Superbad.
Project X, and then this other.
I've seen that one.
The 40-Year-Old Virgin is pretty funny.
Okay, yeah. Hilarious, man. Okay, so like my stuff is a little more older. Like my stuff is 90s. I mean, because you were you even born in the 90s?
No, it was 2004.
Oh,
so I like just missed it, I guess.
You missed it, bro. It's crazy. 90s was popping. Like straight up. But like pretty much my stuff was Good Burger. Have you seen Good Burger?
Oh yeah.
You seen Good Burger?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, hilarious. Okay, anything with Sinbad. Do you know Sinbad?
No, I don't know.
Dude, Sinbad, he's a comedian. He's hilarious. So Sinbad was in Good Burger, but specifically, there's a Christmas movie people be sleeping on, Jingle All the Way. Ask your parents. I'm pretty sure they've seen it. Like Jingle All the Way.
Might have, yeah.
It's like kind of like how like Home Alone is like a Christmas movie, but it's not a Christmas movie. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay.
So Jingle All the Way, you gotta see that.
All right.
It's like, and then like, I'm just goofy, so like Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah.
Just dumb stuff where you just sit there like, this doesn't even make sense. Those are my kind of movies.
My friend tried to give me a while. I haven't seen it yet, but
you haven't seen Napoleon either?
No, I just know he's like a wrestler. That's it. Right.
Not Napoleon.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, you're talking about Nacho Libre.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was like the same. I don't know if it's the same director, but the same exact style of Napoleon. Like exact same, just dumb, like hilarious. Yeah, so you gotta check that out. Okay, cool. So now we talked about like those films. Now, like I talked about last week with Bryce, you guys just be knowing directors. I'm like, I don't even be paying attention to that as much. That's dope. Like I pay attention to like the voice actors and stuff like that. I think voice acting is cool, probably because I like to talk a lot and like do stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I pay attention to those people. But like the directors, I want you to tell me like your top 3, but tell me what specifically you like about that director.
All right.
Yeah. And like director, one of their like top films that you liked about that they did, and what's like some with their style that you really like.
All right.
Yeah.
So I would say like recently, ever since like I met Bryce, he brought up Asteroid City. So I went and watched another movie that Wes Anderson did, which was the Grand Budapest Hotel.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Which I really liked. That one was really good. Yeah. I just kind of like I don't know how to explain like what I like about it, because like it's kind of hard for me to like put it into words. But I guess I just like the way it's like, for like a lack of a better term, a vibe. Okay. Like the way it's it's just the way it's shot and the way like the people act and stuff like that. So that's one.
Yeah.
Another one would be, we were talking about David Fincher. He made I think that's his name. Yeah, he made like the Zodiac movie.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I think Bryce mentioned he likes him too. Like, you guys are super similar. It's crazy.
So yeah, he made like those movies. I mean, for them, I think it's just like I like the darker kind of vibes that he brings to like movies and stuff like that. And then my third, James Gunn. He made like the Guardians. Yeah, he made the Guardians movies. For,
no way. Yeah. Okay.
He's made other movies too, but those are like I think his most popular.
Yeah.
I just really like how he balances like humor and emotion. Like he doesn't like go into too much into either one where it kind of ruins
where
it.
it can become annoying, like too much humor.
So.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. Okay, so he did like because Volume 3 of Guardians is out right now. You talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Yeah. So was he over all 3 of them?
Yeah, he directed all of them.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. That's nice. Yeah. Now, speaking of like sometimes where there's like the annoyances of like when it's just like too silly.
Yeah.
I think both of us said we like Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
You like Demon Slayer? Okay, so the one who like falls asleep, what's his name?
That was Zenitsu?
Dude, like the first season, it was like too much. Because like you'll literally be in that moment. It's a raw scene where you're just like emotionally invested and you're just like, man, this is getting good. And then there's like something goofy, or he'll be scared and all that stuff. Yeah. I was like, so like the new one, like the arc I'm watching with the sword, he has been in there too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like super loving it because it's just like straight up, just like kind of dark.
Yeah.
You know, I just love like, so that's why I love like Death Note, I guess, you know. Yeah, that's cool. All right, great. Okay, so you are going to be a sophomore. So how has that, I want you to tell me, lay it out. Because again, this is for like Gen Z listeners. I want you guys to be encouraged and motivated because him and Bryce are in the heat of college. It's completely different from back when I was in college 10 plus years ago, right? So like now you guys are in a whole new generation and things are just different. How was that first year? If you can give me like a synopsis, that first year of school.
So like the first semester was a little rough because it was, I mean, it was different.
Yeah.
I go to a community college that's like not anywhere near my house. I have to drive. So I don't know anyone. So I wasn't really like, it was kind of, I guess it was rough for lack of better terms. I wasn't really like that happy being there. My grades weren't the best if I'm being totally honest. But in second semester, I enjoyed it a lot more. I met new people in class.
Did you end up having students that were maybe like in your first semester and then they were kind of your second semester classes too?
One girl. That she was in my psychology class and then she was in a philosophy class.
That always helps. Like when you have like the that camaraderie.
But
and then how was it?
And then my grades were a lot better. I mean, because I was a lot more just motivated, and so it was a lot better second semester than first semester.
Nice. So. Now, when you first went in, like that first semester, did you already know that you wanted to go into film?
Kind of. It was an idea, but I wasn't like 100% committed to it.
Okay.
Yet.
Why not? Because I have like a notion as to why not, but tell me why not.
I didn't know if it was like gonna be like sustainable, I guess, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because that's the thing with the arts. Yeah. It baffles me. It literally baffles me how people think that, I don't know, teaching, being a doctor, I don't know, nurse, whatever. All of these different things are like more sustainable or more safe, for lack of a better word. And the arts are just like, oh, you don't know stuff, whatever. But if you look at the whole world, which people need to listen to this, I don't get it. You look at the whole world, everything is the arts.
Yeah.
Everything is the arts. We run this planet. Like every single commercial, you got music playing. We'll just start there.
Yeah.
Every commercial, everything, there has to be background music. Why? Because it just feels something's missing.
Yeah.
Without the music. Just building houses, architecture, design, this table we're using, the mic, all of this took intricate design, to rendering, all of those different things and stuff. You had to create it to make it happen, and people think for whatever reason that's not sustainable, but that's what pulls. Probably because it's more of a emotional thing.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you can necessarily see tangibly as far as like numbers.
On the screen or something.
On the screen and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's everything.
Yeah.
It's literally everything. That's what we're talking about this podcast. Like God, like the scriptures, the very first verse in the Bible, in the beginning, God created. It's like he talks about creativity right from the beginning. Before anything else, he created. So you could just stop right there and be like, man, he's a creator. That's the first thing he wants to show us, you know? I just go on tangents when it comes to that because I'm one of those people where I'm like, I'm just going to jump into this because I know God's in control and stuff. So I'm so glad that I mean, because that was that season with like your parents. Was that something where it was like they wanted you necessarily? Like my dad, for example, he wanted me to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do law. Like that's not even like that's not me at
Yeah.
all. Like I'm like singer songwriter. That's it. You know. So like, was it something where it's like, oh, they want you to kind of do this, or was it kind of like, oh, whatever you want to do? You know?
So first I didn't really tell them.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, I don't even know if I like fully want to do this,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, like I don't even know like what they would think. So I was like, man, I'll just keep it to myself for a little bit and see like what happens. And then I kind of brought it up to them, and they were like, oh, that's like really cool and
You
stuff
kind of
like
slid
that.
them a note.
Yeah, put them to the door or something. Yeah. But no, I started like bringing up the idea like to them, and I mean they knew I was like creative. They knew I like doing that, but I never really told them too much about it. I feel like so. And then eventually, like, my mom was kind of like, well, maybe let's look into, like, colleges and stuff like that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, dude, your mom is awesome. Because first off, whatever conversation you had with them initially, she texted Gabby and I right away. And she was like, hey, do you guys know anyone? Because you're considering Columbia?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Columbia is such a great school. Pretty much your mom texted us like, do you know anyone and stuff? Because pretty much it was just showing that she was for you. And that was really cool, just kind of seeing that she was really excited with you. And then just reaching out to get you the support and everything that you need, And then we ended up here. How did we even, because I know I was texting you, because Emilio's my guy. Like he's come to a couple of my shows over time. He's going to be helping film my live concert, which I'm going to mention at the end of this, July 22nd. Make sure you guys get your tickets. It's free. But pretty much him and Bryce are going to be kind of just filming that event. It's going to be dope. But Emilio, pretty much, we text here and there all the time. And how did I tell you about this? I can't remember how it came across.
I don't know if you told me, or I think maybe my mom brought it up. I think but yeah, eventually, like, we made, I texted you guys, something like that, and I was like, hey, I heard about that internship.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in doing it and stuff like that,
sure.
so yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. And then I was like, it was crazy because it kind of fell on our laps from Notre Dame, because they hit us up to do this. And me and Gabby were like, oh, that's nothing because we've talked over time, like we want more support in this business. So it's not just us. Then we got to watch get some babysitters to kind of watch the kids. Then we go out in the field, film, shoot, then come back and edit, do all of that. It'd be nice to kind of spread it out. Like sometimes have someone else go shoot, we edit. Or we go shoot, we have someone to edit, which kind of just teaching. We talked about it for a hot second. And then sure enough, Notre Dame hits us up and like, yo, we have an intern we want to send you. So that was phenomenal. It's
kind of crazy how that works.
Yeah,
out.
Dude, just all of the pieces came together.
Yeah.
Just from just putting yourself out there. That's something we talk about. Like, what's the saying? Like, you're just gonna miss all the shots that you don't take.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we just put ourselves out there. Then we did a video for them. They loved it. Then they reached back out to us like, yo, keep this relationship going. And sometimes we just sit there like, man, God's opening doors to where we're sitting here. Getting blessed, getting checks from like universities and stuff now. Like how much more can he expand this thing? Because he's limitless, So with that, you guys jumping in has been super helpful. And with this, I want this to continue to be a relationship where it's like now you're savvy with it. If we're like, yo, give you some opportunities to go to a project and start doing all of that, So it's gonna be cool. But I love that, man. Okay, so pretty much now you're going into your sophomore year.
Yeah.
And are you still gonna be at the community college?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And was it like the transfer maybe like junior, senior year?
Junior year, ideally, junior year. Yeah.
When do you start applying to?
I gotta start applying, I think, this fall.
This fall?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, so you apply like a whole year?
I think in advance, yeah.
In advance, okay, yeah, man. Yeah, you nervous?
A little bit. I think I'll be all right.
You think you'll be good getting
in?
Yeah, nice.
I think I'll be fine.
Oh, snap. That's crazy. Okay, cool. So if you had the ideal situation, so now we're about to pick your brain a little bit.
All
right. If you had the ideal situation where you get to screenwrite for a project or maybe create your own from scratch and stuff, what type of, I guess, realm or genre or type would you kind of want to create? Like if you were going into, I don't know, you're just starting because as I'm older, every day I'm just like, I think I want to go into this. It always evolves and changes. But for right now where you're at, what's the ideal situation you want to be in? Working for like one of the big time companies that are out there, or like starting your own thing and having like a corp where you got other people kind of a part of it, doing some short film type stuff. Like what would you see yourself?
I think kind of like a short film or even like my own like little company or something.
Yeah.
I would love to be like a part of like a big corporation, but I've also been told like when you go into stuff like that, like some of your relationships kind of struggle with people around you, I've been told, because it's like you're constantly like doing like you're like shooting like movies and films and stuff for like, you know, long periods of time. So I don't know. And I try to cherish the relationships I have. So I don't know if I could just totally sacrifice that stuff. But probably it's more something like, like a short film or my own little like company or something.
That's cool. Yeah. So you like to have the freedom of, you know, kind of being an entrepreneur. So you may have the entrepreneurial mindset to where you're on your own time. You kind of schedule it how you want. You can pause and stop when you want, and just build your own kind of brand. Oh yeah, that sounds dope. Yeah, because that's a beautiful thing of entrepreneurship and kind of starting your own thing. The beautiful thing of it is that like you got to kind of get out the notion, because as we've been working at different places over the years, you kind of follow their schedule. So you feel like you may have to keep hustling and bustling based off of like this schedule that's kind of ingrained in your head, and you can kind of realize like, wait a minute. If it's 12 o'clock and I just want to pause and go and eat or just go for a walk with the kids or whatever, you have the freedom, you know, to kind of do that. You know, you still want to be structured as long as you have like your hours and stuff in play, because you can find yourself just staying awake and just overworking and stuff too. It has to be a balance. But you do have the freedom to be like you said, you cherish the relationships and stuff. So that's really special. I absolutely love that. Yeah. And then what kind of like genre would you kind of go to? Would you do like just more comedy stuff, more drama, more action? Like,
I would say maybe like a drama mixed in with like, I would say like drama mixed in with like maybe like some type of like sci-fi or like kind of like fictional thing. Because like back to like James Gunn, I really like how he like takes like fictional characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, but then adds like human elements to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And adds like human elements to the story. So I think that's like really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. I love it. Cool. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I want you to share with your generation, because at the end of this, because you guys are with us for 8 weeks, right? At the end of this, we're going to have you guys back to kind of talk about, you know, whether it's a story or whether it's another episode, have you guys back to tell us how this whole season this summer has been, so that people can kind of be encouraged and kind of just hear how you guys have evolved even over the last 2 months, you know? But for right now, where you're at, what's something that you can share with this generation to, I don't know, kind of motivate them, have them ponder stuff that you've been through, how school is going, all of those different things? What's something that you could share, you know, from your wisdom and knowledge up to this point?
Oh man, I'd say just kind of trying to stay like, I mean, like for me, like the hardest thing I think for me is like to stay like consistent. So yeah, I guess I would say like just staying consistent and like discipline. I mean, I know like discipline, at first when we say like discipline is like the greatest form of like self-love. So if you have self-discipline, I think that's like something that's really useful and good. So that's something I'm still trying to like, you know.
Oh yeah, we're all in that struggle, man. We're all in that struggle, and it doesn't help how distracting. You know, you got phones, for example, and the phone should just be like, oh, call someone, check in. But no, it does everything now. It's like it's your own little pocket computer. You know, it does everything. So with that, so many options and distractions that can deter you from doing what you should be doing. You know. So that focus, you're not the only one. You know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I feel like that's like the main two things. Okay. Yeah, just like self-discipline and consistency, I guess. Yeah.
That's good, man. I love that. I went to the gym this morning, trying to be more disciplined and be more consistent. Like Bryce and I, we actually text each other like, yo, did you go to the gym today? Yeah. You know, keep each other posted. I went today and I was actually watching a video. I'll send it to you later. A gentleman, he was talking about just not being distracted, all the different distractions. He's like, what separates those who are just really successful from those who are not, just those who are not disciplined. It's like there's people who, everyone's like able, you know, barring anyone who may have like, you know, some type of ailment, injury and stuff, you know, outside of that. But everyone is able to be just excellent and top in their specific field or area of expertise, right? But what is it? People choose to not to. Like, why is there only one Michael Jordan in a lifetime, you know, or Tiger Woods and stuff? Like all these people, because there's this small percentage of those who really go hard and really just put it in and stuff, you know. So you gotta, at a young age where you're at, I just really want to encourage you to just like right away remember to do that. Like don't wait until you're like older and try to figure it out and stuff. Just think all the time. Like right now, you're getting all this knowledge now, and everything's accessible to you between YouTube and again podcast, all these different things to give you the knowledge and wisdom and stuff that you need. Books, everything, you know. So just retain these things as young as possible, and you'll just see so much success early. You know. So yeah. I love it, man. Cool. All right, bro. So pretty much from me, before we wrap this up, what are 3 things that you want to get from me this summer? And we're going to see when we talk again if we met those things. What are 3 things you expect from this internship?
Hopefully, like, more connections with people.
Yeah.
That's probably one. Maybe like kind of like figuring out how to do like things like more with the camera and stuff like that, lighting, kind of like figuring that out, like that type of stuff out.
Yeah.
And I guess like just stuff with like editing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff we've already been working on.
Yeah.
Because honestly, before this, I really didn't know too much about editing.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the third one. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, for sure. So you guys heard it here. So now we got to deliver and make sure we're able to do those things. But yeah, all that's going to happen this season. So I'm super excited for that. It's going to be a great time. But dude, thank you so much for being on the show. How bad was it? How was it? It was good.
It wasn't terrible. No, it was bad. Yeah.
It was good. I mean, the camera's here, but it don't matter. They somewhere else. They not really. You know, it was good. Hey y'all. So this was Emilio. So make sure you guys follow him. He will send his social information, and it will be in the description below. So as he continues to build his portfolio, you guys will be kind of following him, tracking him. If you need his services, that's all developing as well. This is the starting phase so that we look back on and be like, man, this is where it all started. This is going to be dope, you know, so it's going to be fun. Awesome. All right, guys, before we leave, remember, Juiette Z. Payne, I have a concert, a live album recording called Unashamed Live Worship Experience on July 22nd. And it's going to be at Renew Church, which is in Westmont, Illinois. I want you guys to come. Tickets are free. And I just made to make sure that we have a child care at the event too. So don't be like, oh, I got kids, I can't make it. No, you can make it. We got child care. It's free. We're going to be singing with some new songs. It's going to be a great time. So make sure you guys come out to this event. And if you want to partner with Creative Encounter, please go ahead and click the link below to become a monthly sponsor with this ministry. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.